What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day today and I hope it gets even better from watching this video. Today, we're gonna get you organized, okay? We're gonna get you to be the most organized person in the room. Why am I qualified to make this video? I'm so glad you asked. I used to be a mess, okay? And I don't say that lightly. If you don't believe me, you can go back on my channel and you'll find so many like changing my life videos, getting back on track because I could never stay on track, okay? There was no track. We were off the rails. So over the years, I have done a complete transformation. Like I can't even recognize that girl, honestly, in the most loving, best way possible. I don't know her. And I'm now honestly the most organized person I know. And now I would literally pay the people around me so I can organize their lives. And because they don't let me, I'm gonna do it for you. Okay, so if you're already pretty organized, then I hope you get some new like little tips and tricks to make your organization system better. But if you're kind of a mess at the moment, you are kind of like where I used to be. You go on track, you get off track. It's a whole cycle that seems to be never ending. I get it, okay? If I could do it, you can do it also. This is gonna be a full guide of everything I did in order. I did this in a span of quite a long time. So I didn't do this all in one day. And I think that was the reason I actually succeeded, because before I would watch a video like this, I would get super excited and motivated and I would want to change everything overnight. So I highly recommend not doing that. I know it's really hard because when you get like excited, you just want to do it all. But anyway, this is a whole guide you can follow and I really, really hope it helps you as much as it helped me. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nika, welcome. I make videos all about self-improvement and I like to make them very like actionable. Here are the tips, the tricks, the steps in order you can follow so you can actually change your life and notice a difference. So if that works for you, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe and check out my social media if you want to hang out more. And without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the organization system that you're gonna have, that you're gonna stick to, that's gonna work, okay? The first thing I did that was kind of like the foundation of my planning, organization, time management system is to create a Google Calendar that actually works for me. I had a Google Calendar before. I would put in like birthdays or like random things that I could think of, but I took some time, literally takes 5 minutes, and I made a few different calendars within my calendar. These calendars are like the categories of your life. So I kept it really, really simple. I feel like that's key when you're first starting out, especially if you're kind of a mess at the moment. Like keep it very, very simple so it's not overwhelming and it's not like hard to stick to. So my categories were like appointments, meetings, social/personal. So this would be like workout classes, meeting up with friends. And then I had one for my travel plans and that was literally it. Obviously, if you're in school, you might have a separate one for your projects and then a separate one for exams. Like you can organize it the way that makes the most sense to you, and that's the whole point. And a fun little hack to make this more visually appealing is to change the colors. The original Google Calendar colors are not very pleasant to look at. So I just went on Pinterest and I found like a color board, color theme that looked nice to me and I just changed the colors so it's appealing. So again, this is your foundation. I wouldn't use Google Calendar to plan my whole days. It never worked for me, but it's really good for meetings, appointments, any important due dates that you have. And the best part is that you can connect it to pretty much any productivity tool that you want to use outside of Google Calendar. I've tried so many calendars, like a physical one, so many online ones, and this one's still the best. The second step is honestly what I think changed everything for me. It was like the start of a new life for me, okay? And that was to create a system that is like a second brain. So this is a place where you can brainstorm, organize, plan your whole life, from personal things, whether it's budgeting, goals, habits you want to track, routines, meal planning, and then work, school, like everything. You can have all of that organized in one place. And I can't explain to you how at peace that makes me feel. And this is especially a game changer if you feel like you have a messy mind, like there's so much going on, it's just a mess. Having somewhere where you can dump all of that in an organized way is life-changing. A really, really cool option I recently found is Xtiles. If you've tried Notion before, you know that it's really, really hard to get started. Like it takes a while to figure it out. It's really hard for beginners. So Xtiles is honestly such an amazing option because it's so intuitive, it's so visual, and it's so simple. Like you can click through it for like 5 minutes and you'll figure it all out. I've also done a little research and I found out it's apparently really good if you have ADHD as well. And I think it's also amazing if you're very creative just because it's so visual. I think the best way to explain it to you is to literally show you. So let's say you're a student and one of the things you want to have in this second brain is a really good system to organize all of your school stuff. When you click on new project, you have an option to either start from scratch, or you can use one of the many templates that they have. They have so many, they're organized in categories, so it's really easy to find. You can also search for specific ones if you need to. And the best part is you can pretty much customize everything. Let's go to the education section. So let's say you need an academic calendar so you can organize all your exams and tests all in one place. And then you can rename your project, you can change the banner, you can change the colors, move things around. It's very easy. It's like drag and drop. And then you can create more pages inside of this project. So let's create a new page and add class notes so that anytime you go to class, you can take notes in here and you can have all of your class notes in one place. And then let's say the last thing you want in there to keep it very simple is a weekly planner so you can keep track of all of your to-dos. And you can also create a page from scratch, and this is super simple. So let's say I want a very like motivational page. So I'm gonna add my goals, my affirmations, and then I'm gonna put in my vision board as well. So now you basically already have a system for all of your schoolwork. You just need to put in all your info and you're good to go. And this literally took less than 15 minutes. You can create a separate project for your finances, for example. You can have a section for food, so you can have a meal planner, recipes, like you can literally organize your whole life, and that's the whole point of a second brain. You can have multiple workspaces. You can see that here on the side. So you can have one that's like personal and one that's work. If you're doing like a group project or if you're using it for work, you can really easily add team members to your projects. One of my favorite features is that you can see all of your tasks across different workspaces, different projects all in one place, and you can see your calendar in there and make notes there also. Plus there's also an app so you can use it anywhere, anytime, and you can also connect your Google Calendar with Erculj so you have everything in one place. They have an amazing free plan so you can literally get started right now for free. I'm gonna have the link down below if you want to try it out, and thank you so much to Erculj for sponsoring this video. I want to share two more organization apps / tools that I really like. I would not add this if you're currently a mess, okay? I would just start with the second brain, work with that, and then if you need to, you can add it later. So my all-time favorite like app tool system for time blocking basically is Motion. It's AI powered. So you basically put in your task, you set the priority and how long it's going to take, and you click save task, and it basically organizes your schedule for you. And if something moves, like if a meeting moves, your whole schedule moves as well. And this has honestly made me so much more productive. I don't know, I've tried time blocking before and it's never worked for me, and now it does. Like I've been using it ever since and it's amazing. It is paid though, so keep that in mind. Another great alternative if Motion is not really up your street is Akiflow. It's also paid. It's also powered by AI. It's really cool. I've used it in the past a lot, so it's verified good, but it totally depends on what you need. So if you are a little bit of an organization pro already, I would check these out, see if they're worth it to you if you need them. But I literally just started with a simple to-do list inside my second brain system, and that worked for a very long time. The second thing I did that was life-changing is something I talk about all the time, and I feel like it's become one of those things that when people hear it, they're just like, yeah, whatever. But it's so important. It's a morning routine. I know you're already like, let's skip to the next part. Please don't, okay? It's very important. Literally have a very simple morning routine that's like 3 to 5 steps, even less if you need it to be less. This whole routine should be dedicated to you feeling good, energized, and like promote you wanting to be on top of things. That was honestly the biggest game changer for me, like waking up and having that dedicated time, even if it's 20 minutes. Like you do not have to overcomplicate this. I know we're all busy. We all have stuff going on. You might have kids, work. I get it, okay? But having, even if it's 15 minutes to yourself in the morning to set yourself up for success is life-changing. You really notice it when you have the routine for a little while and then you don't do it for a few days. You're like, what is wrong? Something's wrong. You feel very different throughout the day. It's like waking up on the right side of the bed and you get to control it. And it's the routine that even if I do wake up on the wrong side of the bed, I'm not in a good mood, it literally helps me every single time and I have a much better day because of it. And I highly recommend going through that morning routine without your phone, at least without social media if you can't go without your phone. Just try as much as you can to not let other people influence how you feel in the morning. That should be your time to decide for yourself what kind of day you want to have and how you want to feel. I have a whole video on how to create your perfect morning routine, so I'm going to link that down below. You can check it out and you can figure that out. The next thing we need to do is hack your productivity style and completely understand your procrastination. I'm gonna need you to write this down. The first question you're gonna ask yourself is, if I'm being honest with myself, what usually causes me to procrastinate? For most people, it's feeling overwhelmed. That's what it was for me, like feeling like things are out of control, feeling overwhelmed, and I would be out of there, okay? I would get off the track. Then we're gonna look at this a little bit further. So if your answer was, I procrastinate when I feel overwhelmed, then you're gonna write a list of things that usually make you feel overwhelmed. Maybe for you, it's like a group project for school or for work, or something where you have a very set deadline or you need to have amazing results. Even if you don't do anything with this information, just being aware of this helps so much. And awareness of a problem is a problem half solved. It really like switches something in your brain, because when you then start doing it, when you start feeling overwhelmed and you want to procrastinate, you're like, haha, I'm doing this because I want it to be perfect, and that made me feel overwhelmed, and now I'm procrastinating. You know, even that, like the awareness of it helps so much. At least that's how it was in my case. But then you can also create a plan that will prevent you from even getting to that point in the first place. So of course we all experience stress sometimes, but to know what ticks you is going to help you so much to, again, prevent you from getting so overwhelmed that you want to procrastinate. Whether that's like planning more time for certain tasks that make you feel overwhelmed, or giving yourself a fake deadline that's before the actual deadline. Another big thing for me was like trying to change my life literally in a day. Like for example, getting organized in a day. I would watch a video like this and I would be like, okay, I'm gonna change everything. And I would plan so many things because I was so excited and motivated, and it was good for a few days and I was super productive and everything was perfect. And then reality set in, and then I just felt overwhelmed because I put way too much on my plate. So that is another thing you can keep in mind and make sure you stop doing, honestly. It doesn't work and it doesn't help. Just understanding yourself better and writing this all down. Again, brainstorming what you think would help you is so helpful. And when it comes to your work style, you want to figure out which of your tasks are big brain and small brain tasks, and then when and how you work best. I have a whole video about this. It's my time management video, so I'm going to link that down below so you can check that out when you want to, when you're ready for that step. Alrighty, next up, we want to plan for you to stay on track. So this is where routines come in, and this is something that I would add very slowly. Like I would start with a morning routine. Once I had that down and that was so simple and second nature, I don't even need to think about it, I would add another, okay? Because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. We want to minimize that as much as possible. Start with things that feel simple and easy and then move on to the next. So we've already spoken about a morning routine. Another thing that's very common that people recommend is to plan your day the day before. I like to do it at the end of my workday, not in the evening, because if I did it in the evening, I would just be thinking about work and I couldn't sleep. So maybe avoid that. A Sunday little small routine really helped me. So this is when I would just take the time to reflect on the week, see what worked, what didn't work, what made me feel good, what didn't make me feel good, and how I can have a better week ahead. So I would sit down, I would put things in my calendar, I would reorganize anything that got disorganized. Like that would be a little small reset I would do every single week. And it was very not overwhelming because I just had a week to work with. A step further then is a monthly reset routine. So it's basically the same thing, but you take time to reflect on the previous month, what worked, what didn't, and then create a plan for the new month that's more tailored to you. This would also be a time for me to reflect on my goals and habits and deep clean and organize my space. So now that leads us nicely to keeping your space organized. Of course, clean space, clear mind. Let's talk about your digital space first, and then we'll move on to your home. If you don't already have this, create a very simple folder system for your documents. I also have a folder called Cleanup, which I keep in my downloads or on my desktop. And that's where I dump in all the stuff that accumulates, like screenshots, random things I save. I just put it all in there, and then at the end of the month I organize that. You can also do it at the end of the week. It's just a simple way to keep things clean and decluttered, because I just couldn't stick to it. Like I couldn't stick to downloading something, like creating a document or something and putting it in its assigned place. Like I, for some reason, cannot form that habit. So that is a very simple solution if you're like me. Also, creating very simple folders inside your email inbox is very helpful as well. So you can keep your email very organized. You can find things very easily. it's just way less clutter in your mind. Like it really makes you feel like you have a clearer mind. I also like to go through all of my notes and photos on my phone at the end of every single month and clear that up, just because it gets really messy. Now let's talk about your physical space. I actually want to make a whole video about this, like little tiny habits to keep your home very clean and organized. So let me know if you want to see that. But a very simple one I wanted to share with you today that honestly changed my world. You know when you have those like piles of mess, like for example, your bedroom floor or that random chair where you dump your clothes. An amazing solution is to figure out an organization system that you put in that area where you usually leave your mess. So for example, if you dump your clothes on your lounge chair, you're gonna put a really nice basket next to it. So instead of dumping your clothes on the chair, you're gonna dump them in the basket, and then you can go through that once a week or however many times you need to and clear that basket out. Life-changing. And you can do this for anything. Like we, for example, keep things on our counter that need to be recycled. We need to like take them down. So that stuff accumulates and it looks really messy. So I'm again buying a little tray, a little basket, so I can put all that in and then take it out. And it's first of all easier to carry, but also it doesn't look as messy and it feels like there's a system. Alrighty guys, that is it for this video. I feel like this is such a broad topic. We could talk about it for so long. I have so many more things I wrote down that I wanted to say in this video, but I wanted to keep it simple. Please let me know if you want me to dive a little bit deeper into any of these topics. And if you like this video, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe and check out my social media if you want to hang out more. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you very, very soon.